Welcome to the Morning Blitz with John Abraham, Captain Cool, and the Bandiman Bailey Lowery. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Captain Cool.
Hello and welcome in to a tipsy Tuesday here in No Man's Land. Bandy, you can tell that I'm already a little bit on the day, but it's okay because we got a lot of fun stuff to look forward to. The energy's going to be popping. And if you want to know the reason, Bandy, it's because I've kind of had a little bit of a conversation with my coffee habits. I've kind of pushed them to the side. I've stopped drinking coffee. I've kind of trying to lower my caffeine intake. Just save it for the workouts at the end of the day because, I won't be able to get sleep if that's not the case. So I'm doing better, though. I'm doing better. And we're going to start off this show with something hot, something nice, and something not a lot of people are talking about. There are people talking about it. Mainly, around the country, but not too much in the South area just because we like to focus on the SEC when it comes to the basketball scene. And there's one team that I want to focus on, and it's this NC State Wolfpack squad that really came back from adversity. Almost not even, they go into this ACC tournament as the 10th seed. They're going up against these teams that have beat them throughout the season, like Syracuse. They got to go up against Duke, all these different squads. And they're looking at, an early exit and not even a trip to the NIT.
That's what they were looking like.
That's what it was looking like. But then we get to see what this team's capable of, all right? Coaches on the hot seat, teams in desperation mode, but they got to get to that, they got to get to that big dance. It's something that traditionally NC State has known. They've done it before, way, way back when. And they go up against some teams like Louisville. They get the win in that first game of that ACC tournament. Then they go up against Syracuse, a team that beat them numerous times during the regular season. We get to see standouts just left and right from the squad. And now we're kind of getting a roll, all right? This team's kind of starting to feel themselves. And then they go up against Duke, the Blue Devils.
And it's like, wait a minute, all right, there's a Duke team.
Yep.
Filipowski's on a roll.
Yep.
How do they handle Duke?
Well, they handle them pretty nicely.
Pretty well.
I mean, it ends 74-69, a very close matchup. NC State obviously has the better first half. It ends up having the better second half as well. We get to see the squad that really just started showing out because now whenever we think about NC State, we think about DJ Burns and what he's capable of, the size of this man, what he's able to do in the paint. I mean, there's just a lot that we get from him, but we kind of forget that, there's other guys like DJ Horn on this team. Guys that, have the highest points on this team throughout the season. They've been averaging the most. But now it's all starting to click. It's all starting to fall together. They beat a 2-seed Duke Blue Devils squad in the ACC tournament. Then they go on to play up against Virginia. All right? Okay. A team that, of course, if they win this one, they're going to go to the tournament. If they don't, then, of course, they're going to have to play in. And it comes down to a last-second three-point shot, taking it to overtime, where NC State inevitably wins 73-65. If we go all the way back there and think about, this shot doesn't even go in, then it would have been a totally different path, especially on that right side of the bracket, and we might not see what we have now, which is the insanity of March Madness in 2024. They go up against an ACC title game against this North Carolina squad, and they're able to get the win yet again, 84-76.
Yep.
It's the last time North Carolina lost until, of course, the Crimson Tide came to town. Then they go on against the Texas Tech team. Everybody's talking so highly about Bandy. This Texas Tech team looked so good on offense. It was almost like, this is the end of the run for NC State. I mean, they just won 5 games in 5 days. There's no way that they can keep on churning out these wins. They win against Texas Tech. A pretty big win, 80-67. Yep. Move on. Would have had to play up against the Kentucky team that honestly would have maybe been that turning point. Maybe would have gotten this NC State team out of the tournament in the first place. But thankfully enough, the guys in Oakland got the dub. Move on to the second round. And NC State, of course, able to beat that 14-15 seed squad.
I want to go back to that Texas Tech game a little bit because I remember going back, people were really hyping up that offense with Texas Tech.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, all right, this is going to be a nice first round for Texas Tech. We're going to be able to make their way through.
Yeah,
Did they just kind of forget this team just beat North Carolina
I know.
and Duke?
And I think that with the ACC, they were kind of thinking, well, they got a freak win in the ACC championship. That's great. We'll give it to them. We'll let them have it. And then they just keep on winning. And then they beat Duke again in the tournament after, of course, beating Marquette, Big East's wonder child. Not the biggest wonder child. Okay, UConn's the wonder child over there. But they beat Marquette, a team that's looking to finally get back to where, we saw them in the early 2010s. That was a 2 seed. They go on and beat a 4 seed Duke. And now they're moving on. And I don't know, man. They're playing up against this Purdue squad. And yes, I would say Purdue's going to win this game. But I've said that so many times before that I don't even know if I could believe that at this point.
I've got full faith in the Burns. I'm all in. I'm all in on NC State beating Purdue.
I'm glad you're all in.
I want it to happen.
I'm glad you're all in, Bandy, because I'm all in as well. Mainly because I do want to see this NC State, this 11 seed, make it to the championship game.
Yeah.
And I know Joe Hunk might be, a little bit against that. He may want to see the two powerhouses go up against each other. That's exactly what I'm going to ask him in the next segment. Joe Hunk from 104.5 The Zone joining us. Of course, it's a Tipsy Tuesday. We getting lit.
But if I'm being honest, I really don't like this Purdue team at all.
No?
I really don't. They are the Denver Nuggets with none of the flair.
Look.
Or with what none of what makes them good.
I know you've got a problem.
It is so boring to watch.
I know you've got a problem.
It is so infuriating
with
to watch.
Zach Edey.
I'm not even a Tennessee fan, and I was mad.
Look, we were rooting for the SEC, Bandy. All right, we're gonna be a little bit upset about it because
we're Alabama fans. I mean, you know how we feel about Tennessee. Whenever football rolls around,
the game got to the point where it was like Tennessee versus Creighton, where I didn't really care who won. I was kind of liking Creighton just because it's always one of those teams that just kind of pops up that you're just like, okay, yeah, I'll root for these guys. I might not know any of the players on their squad, but I'm gonna root for them. And then I was kind of just like, well, either team wins, I'm going to be happy because it's the SEC going up against the Creighton team that, honestly, I don't know much about.
I felt that way until the game started.
The same way.
And then I truly saw, like, okay, they really, like, they're either just, like, they just.
I know. I know. Bandy, I know.
It is infuriating. Like, they are just swallowing their whistle with this guy, and I don't see it. He is not that unreffable. You can easily just call 3 seconds.
Bandy.
You can't allow him to just camp in the lane all game.
Look, I understand where you're coming from, but Zach
and then give him the foul when they just.
He genuinely is, a different type of talent.
He's gonna suck in the NBA. I'm saying that right now.
Bandy's put it down. He's out for blood today. He's putting those hot takes out.
He's not gonna be good. This draft class, I mean, honestly, is not looking as good as it was in past years. I mean,
okay.
When you compare when we got Wembanyama and Brandon Miller last year, the follow-up's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
But when you're comparing that and you put Zach Edey on an NBA team, they're gonna eat him alive.
Yeah. 7'4", 21 years old.
This is not the next coming of Rudy Gobert or Yao Ming. He's going to get eaten alive, and he's going to be riding the bench.
I mean, he's been looked at highly for his entire career. He went to IMG Academy back in 2018 all the way to 2020. So, I mean,
he's not going to be a Joakim Noah.
He's got the talent. He was kind of thrown into that position to where he's going to be set up to be a nice NBA player. But Bandy says otherwise. I mean, if the refs are relying on – if he's relying on the refs a little too much, then we could see that maybe the NBA is not going to take too fairly.
I'm just so tired in the difference in calls. Like there should be no reason he's just hanging out in the paint.
There you go.
Pretty much all game on offense.
Yeah.
And that's their entire game plan. They just throw it into Edey and then see what happens. They throw it into Edey. They move around the perimeter. Maybe they'll get a shot up. Their guards aren't that good compared to UConn. I mean, NC State, their guards will be able to just outpace Purdue's. They are faster.
Okay.
They are better, and in my opinion, better ball handlers than Purdue's guards. They'll be able to keep up on the perimeter.
Okay.
But my God, I really want to see this Purdue team lose. I'm being brutally honest today. I really do not want this team in the championship.
I understand.
I want that Alabama-NC State matchup, but I'm more willing to see UConn move on than I am Purdue.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't fully agree with you on that, Bandy, but I know where you're coming from. Whenever you look at the fouls in the last matchup against Tennessee, 25 fouls against Tennessee. 12 against Purdue.
Yeah.
And you see the elbows this guy's throwing.
And you know who drew most of them?
Oh.
Goal 7-1 Zach Edey.
Of course.
DJ Burns is not going to take any of his crap.
I mean,
in the paint, he will be
he's going to be hitting a brick wall, Bandy.
Yes. I mean, he's 6'7", 275, but still, that is all 6'7", 275, and you saw what he was doing against Duke.
DJ good. He quick.
No.
He a big boy.
He was going one-on-one against Filipowski and making it look pretty easy.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Like, strength-wise.
That's definitely how you lose some draft stock. I think that's the whole, like, meme around that Duke versus NC State matchup. But, Bandy,
can he hold on the fouls?
We got a lot of stuff to hop into. We're going to hop out of this segment, hop into the next with Joe Hunk, talk a little bit more about the tournament, but also hop into some other fun stuff because there's a lot going on in the sports world, and Joe Hunk's one that knows almost everything about everything. So we're going to leave a little bit for him on the other side here on the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Pre-Tection. Yep, Pre-Tection. The everyday skin protection ritual that protects your skin from mosquitoes. Pre-barbecue. Pre-playground. Pre-everything. Pre-every day. Prevention is the best protection. This summer, make sure you have OFF, the #1 dermatologist-recommended repellent brand. SC Johnson, a family company.
Did you know that Valley Equipment Rental also specializes in day and weekend rentals to homeowners? The weekend rentals is by far the best deal that they offer. If you pick up after 2 on a Friday or anytime Saturday morning, it's not due in until Monday morning before 8 a.m. for a one-day charge. For a small fee, Valley can even haul anything they carry. Valley has extremely experienced and knowledgeable staff that can help you decide what size machine you need or what type of machine you need to get your job done like a pro. They have all the big items that the contractors need for their jobs, but they also carry the small tools that can help you with your DIY project. More importantly, Valley is locally owned and operated, which means when you have an issue, you can get someone on it right away, right here in the Valley. Heck, ask for Ross Roberts, the owner, if you like. Try calling one of the big box national outlets and ask for the owner. That's if you can even get through the automation. Buy local. Buy Valley Equipment Rental. Valley Equipment Rental has 2 locations, one on the North and South Parkway. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
Do you have discomfort in your legs? Varicose veins can affect not only how your legs look, but how they feel. Symptoms can include pain, heaviness, aching, fatigue, or swelling at the end of the day. If this has been the case, then Varicosity Vein Center can come to your aid. Evaluation and treatment of the veins is performed as an outpatient, utilizes the latest, minimally invasive techniques, and is covered by most insurances. After treatment, patients may resume most normal activities without delay. Varicosity Vein Center now has 3 North Alabama locations, one in Huntsville on South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road. Our new locations include Madison at Madison Hospital Complex and Coleman at the Coleman Regional Sports Medical Center. You can call 256-715-7151 to set up your appointment with one of our experienced and compassionate team members, or you can visit online at varicosityveincenter.com. Varicosity Vein Center, Alabama's premier vein center.
AL cert number 21014.
Are those high utility bills driving you crazy this time of year? If they are, Talent Heating and Air has the special for you.
That's right. We're going to run a $49 spring checkup on your system. We're going to come out, we're going to check those heat kits, make sure that everything was working through the winter right, and then we're going to also make sure your Freon's good, make sure that you're ready for the summertime.
How important is that to be done this time of year?
It's really the most important time of the year. We can avoid safety concerns caused by wintertime use, and then we can also make sure that you're ready for the summertime.
And to get ready for the summertime, you just got to call
256-503-4490.
Or you can find them online at
talenthvac.com.
That's Talent Heating and Air. One more time.
256-503-4490.
Talent Heating and Air. Let them save you money.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. We're talking about the chance for strong and severe thunderstorms this afternoon across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Looks like this activity is going to move in after the lunch hour, and it's going to stick with us across the Tennessee Valley until we head into the middle and later part of the evening. Gusty winds in excess of 60 or 70 miles per hour, and large hail looks like it's going to be the primary concern across the Tennessee Valley Tuesday afternoon. There is an isolated tornado threat as well. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio.
There's the phone and no one to answer.
256-576-4977.
And as a result, we got many phone calls and letters.
Give us a call on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline today. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Hello and welcome back to the Morning Blitz. John Abraham, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandiman Bailey Lowery here on a Tipsy Tuesday with you. We appreciate you guys joining the show for an hour straight of sports talk. And before we get Joe on, I just want to throw out a kicker that did a really good thing over the weekend, all right? Yeah, the UFL's back. We didn't really hype it up too much, but Tom Abraham had that cover, and we will talk a little bit more about it tomorrow. But Jake Bates, Michigan Panthers kicker, 64-yard field goal to win the game against the St. Louis Battlehawks. So what a wonderful, wonderful ending to that game. And, of course, I mean, that's going to get some eyeballs, and the NFL is already on him to try and pick him up here during the offseason, which, speaking of pickups this offseason, Carson Wentz, he's going to a team. I had what team he was going to, and then I forgot because he was on the Rams last year, and I don't think anybody really knew about that. Chiefs, the Chiefs picked him up. So, he's going to be able to possibly win a Super Bowl with this Chiefs team now. And this would be the second team he gets a ring for not playing. So, there's that. But on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline is a guy that we love to talk to every single Tuesday. He brings the energy. He brings the heat. He is the one, Mr. Joe Hunk from 104.5 The Zone in Nashville. Joseph, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good. I got to see Bandy on Saturday, as a matter of fact, at UAA.
Oh, yeah. And I bet it was beautiful weather out there. I know I stopped by on the Friday. I was helping Tom out.
A lot better than the baseball games were.
Yeah, well, it's going to be you know what they say about baseball, all right? It's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
That when you play one of the best offensive teams in Division II, they're going to score about 60 runs in a 3-game series.
Damn. That, it was just rough.
Is that what you mean?
It was rough.
That's what happened.
That sounded like a sprint from that Lee team. They were really riding the hot. And it started on Friday. I stopped by. I was sitting with Tom, and I saw the runs that were put up at the beginning of that game, and it just kept going throughout it. But definitely something that UAH is going to be able to get under wraps. Thankfully, it's happening, at this part of the season where they're going to have time to fix it. But that same could be said for these SEC teams that are playing ball right now. But, Joe, before we talk about anything like that, I just want to let you know my bracket is busted to all hell. And I know Bandy is actually doing better than me. I don't know.
I have one team survive to the Final Four and somehow ended up being Bama.
Yeah. And
I'm incredibly happy, but, that's –
yeah.
Out of the teams I picked?
I know. I didn't expect it
either.
Second and third round, my bracket was actually looking pretty good, and then it all just disappeared over the weekend. But, Joe, how is your bracket doing, and do you have any teams riding hot still into the Final Four?
No. There's a couple things that matter when it comes to your bracket, and the main thing is the fact that I have defeated my wife in our family bracket this year, and that's really all that matters.
Yeah.
I destroyed, absolutely embarrassed her this year.
That's good.
I say that only because she's beat me like the last 5 years in a row. So I almost had to sleep on the couch Sunday night when the Duke game was over with, and was because I had Duke in the Final Four, and so my wife is doing laundry, and I looked at our bracket. And then I continued to look at our brackets, and I continued to stare, and I went, okay. Yeah, no, we're good. I won. I've won one. I'm making sure everything is said and done, and, I can't get bitten in the tail by anything. I was good. And so as any amazing husband would do, I then proceeded to walk into the laundry room where she was working on our daughter's clothes.
Okay.
Our clothes, and proceeded to play Queens. We Are the Champions. As I serenaded her in a night. Again, it was just a romantic moment. Really what I saw that as. But instead, she didn't take too kindly to it.
Yeah.
And so, it just, it was one of those things where I may or may got a punch to the gut, but, hey, I'm a winner. What can I say?
Hey, you lose the bracket challenge, you're sleeping on the couch. You win the bracket challenge, you're sleeping on the couch. It's just how it is.
Yeah, champions have to take the hits as they come.
Yeah, for sure about that, Bandy.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened because I basically just had to take it. So look, my bracket's gone, and now we get to watch two or of really boring basketball teams play. So that's cool.
I mean, you're saying it like it's not going to be that appealing, okay? I mean, we did get some fun women's basketball last night, and that was great to see. Caitlin Clark, of course, just putting on a clinic yet again. But kind of talking about the men's bracket here, I mean, looking at these teams, the Final Four squad, you got the NC States, you got the Bamas. Those are the underdogs. Then you got the UConns versus the Purdues. Which would you rather see, in the championship game? What is more appealing to you, Mr. Joe Hunk?
All right, so I'm going to be very straight with you guys, and I think I should have actually said this last week.
Yeah.
Mainly because I felt bad. Look, here's the thing about in any career path you take, you self-evaluate a lot. And, guys, I just didn't give you guys my A game last week, and there was a reason. It's because I haven't cared one thing about college basketball the entire season.
Dang. Ooh.
And I say it in a way that's just like, look, I kind of feel bad about the fact that I don't, because I work with Ron Slay, and every single Wednesday and Tuesday night he's flying out to Charlotte and he's doing the SEC network thing, and every single Friday after the show he's leaving to go to Charlotte to do it, and I feel bad because I just haven't cared one bit about college basketball this entire year, and I guess it may just be the life that I live now. Because I do, we have college football in the NFL, and NFL takes up, almost all the way through February of my life. And then the moment that wraps up, guys, I was directly into baseball. And I mean, we were joking about UAH a second ago, but, we're watching these baseball games and getting ready for everything that's happening there. So, for me, basketball was always in the background. I would turn on the TV, and if there was nothing else on, I would put it on. But I wasn't sitting there analyzing. So, going into this, I kept hearing about Zach Edey and Zach Edey and Zach Edey and Zach Edey, and it's crazy. I don't know how it's possible for Purdue to do this, but, it's crazy that Purdue is not in Detroit, Michigan, yet even though Purdue has left and still made their way back to the school, he's still in the lane somehow.
Yeah.
It's the craziest thing that he is still in the lane inside of Detroit's arena for it to be there, and yet the ref still hasn't started counting. So it's really wild at how that happened. So the problem with Zach Edey is and look, this isn't just me, okay? And if you go and follow me on Twitter at Joe Hunk, I retweeted an interview that we did with CeeLo yesterday and Chris Lowe of ESPN, and he basically said it, and he summed it up perfectly. He says, look, if 3 in the lane is a penalty, then call it. If it's not, then just get rid of it so that other players don't have to worry about it. But if it is a penalty, then call it. That's all you're saying.
Yeah.
It's just it. So, look, the NC State thing is cool, and it's interesting the fact that they've been able to kind of be the Cinderella. But guys, what did I tell you last week, and what I tell you the week before? A 1 through 4 seed is going to win the national championship every single year. Yeah. It's very rare that anything outside of that. So, NC State, I'm sorry, you're not in the equation on that. So yeah, it'll probably be UConn and Purdue. And here's the problem with this. Guys, it's as much as I hate, and I may be kind of embarrassed to say this, the national championship game will be what night?
I believe it's the 6th, 8th, maybe.
Which is yeah, but what day is it?
I think it's usually a Monday.
Oh, don't tell me it's on a Monday.
It's usually
on a Monday.
Yeah.
And when's the Final Four taking place?
I believe it starts on the 6th. Maybe
which is a what night?
Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
Yeah.
Does anybody else know the 2 things that are happening on those nights as well?
The Masters. No.
Not yet.
Close.
Not yet.
Threw that one out there.
No.
What's
try
going
again?
On? What's going on? Yeah, I don't know.
That would be night 1 of WrestleMania.
Oh.
Where you have so look. That's night 1 of WrestleMania, and the national championship is on the Raw after WrestleMania, which is arguably the biggest Raw in every single year.
It's true.
And
it's true.
Quite frankly, WWE has been 20 times more entertaining than what the NCAA basketball tournament has had. And I say that because, look, guys, let me ask you, because I'm genuinely curious because I don't remember. Has there been a game-winning buzzer beater? to send a team to the next round in the NCAA tournament this year.
I don't know if there's been one to send one in the next round. I think there's one that's been one to send it into overtime.
Yeah, but
in
there hasn't been one. Like, there hasn't been one to send a team into, like, literally dash somebody's hopes. There hasn't been one. I don't think there was one last year. Like, I may be off on this, but that's what makes this tournament is, like, the exciting finishes and everything. It's just kind of been there.
Yeah.
Like, and that's where I say I feel bad after what happened last week because I didn't give you my best game. And basically, I'm just being honest with you guys now, is even Saturday night, and I live with an Alabama fan. I do. I live with one. And I'm having to put up with her crap all about this Alabama team being in the Final Fours. Oh, I thought Auburn was the basketball school in the state. Then why are we playing in the Final Four? I got to deal with all that. Oh, you like Auburn and Tennessee. I thought both of them were supposed to be in the Final Four. But, oh, it's Alabama. Like, I'm having to deal with all of this, okay? So even with that being said, if there is a minute left in UConn and Alabama, and Cody Rhodes is making his way to the ring to face The Rock and Roman Reigns, I am picking Cody Rhodes and The Rock and Roman Reigns over the last minute of the Final Four. I just am.
Okay.
It's way more entertaining right now. Like, it just is.
Joe's trying to hype you guys up right now on that wrestling stuff. All right.
No, I'm just being honest with you. Like, even last night on Raw was must-watch television. It genuinely was must-watch. Like, it's so – and that's another thing about college basketball. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if maybe it's just because I have so much NFL and college baseball in my life right now that I just don't have time for college basketball. I don't know. But right now, if I'm sitting down at the house and I have a choice of the women's Final Four or Monday Night Raw, I chose Monday Night Raw. Like, I did. Like, I know who won in the women's Final Four or in the women's Elite Eight. I don't care. Like, I just don't. And it's, I guess it's just my individual palate is different than some others on this one. But right now, Monday Night Raw and wrestling has been 10 times more entertaining than anything college basketball has been putting on the court, especially through March Madness.
Joe Hunk from 104.5 The Zone giving us his take on the whole thing that's going down. Of course, everybody's going to have their own opinions, and I definitely am all for yours, Joe, because I know whenever I think your name, I think of the wrestling. I think of the guys, the big dudes throwing each other around, having a great time in the ring.
I just imagine the refs in that Tennessee game being like how The Rock was when like someone was pinned for like 10 seconds. He was just turning around talking to the crowd.
No, he was just having a fun time. But Joe,
and that's kind of what it was.
Yeah.
Zach Edey was just like, "Hey guys, I'm here in this lane, but you can't be. So I'm going to hang out here. Yes, I know I've been here for 10 seconds, but it doesn't apply to me. I'm just letting you know now because I am such a boring person and Purdue is such a boring basketball team that even the refs fall asleep when we play, and so they don't pay attention to anything that I'm doing.
It's living Nuggets with none of the flair or none of what makes them good.
Yeah. So I'm just going to be straight with you. Is I will have the Final Four on Saturday on a phone, an iPad, something, but my television's going to be on WrestleMania, and it's going to be the same thing's going to happen Monday night.
Totally understand that, Joe. Looking over at baseball real quick before we get you out of here, man. Which side of baseball are you looking at the most? Are you looking at the college baseball scene, or are you looking at the MLB? Because the Atlanta Braves are pretty freaking good.
It's so strange because, we have been doing college baseball for so long. And, UAH has, I think, maybe 2 home series left. But then we have the Trash Pandas that are getting going here in the next couple of weeks. And so it's really strange because it's like the college baseball is starting to wind down. And they're starting to kind of get closer and closer to the end where Major League Baseball and minor league baseball is just now getting going. And opening day was really strange as well because I was excited about it because it was Major League Baseball as I'm sitting here talking to you guys playing MLB The Show. But at the same time, it's like, man, baseball's been going on for a while. And so now to see the Braves and how they've been playing, like at this point in time, their offense has absolutely been amazing. But the thing that Braves fans have to remember is 2 things. One, the Chicago White Sox are the exact image when you look up hot garbage, it will show their picture.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is you played in a bandbox in Citizen Bank in the first series. So before you start getting way too excited about the offense and the power and all this, first off, I still want to see Chris Sale pitching a real baseball game.
True.
But the other thing that I want to see is that I want to see Braves when we start getting into these really big games as far as going. Home series starts this weekend. And look, the Braves couldn't start this thing off better because they're starting off hot. They got to play the White Sox again 2 more times. But then they come home and their very first home opening game is against the NL champs. I mean, this is fantastic. They're playing the Arizona Diamondbacks Friday night. It is going to be so much fun.
For sure about that. And you will be able to listen to it over on 97.7 ESPN The Zone for all your Braves. Actually, keep it with us. But, Joe Hunk, we appreciate your time, brother. Sorry the conversation didn't go down the route you wanted it to with the WrestleMania.
No, it's okay.
But it's,
of
course. Look, we respect everything about it.
With you guys.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Look, the thing is last week I tried to talk my way through it, and when it was done, I just said, you know what? I didn't give them my best because I totally BS'd my way through talking college basketball. And I said, you know what? This week I'm going to be honest with you guys about how I feel about it.
Well, hey, you know what? Your honesty is very appreciated. Next time, just shoot me a text. Good stuff. Love you, Joe.
No, I'm always going to talk about what y'all want to talk about. I just may not give you the answer you want.
Okay. Well, next week we're going to be talking about something really cool. UFL. Get ready.
Okay, well, I may just not answer. Love you. Bye.
Good stuff, Joe Hunk from 104.5 The Zone in Nashville again. What are you guys into? Are you focused on the college basketball like everybody else is, I feel like, in this studio? Or are you focused on the WrestleMania? Were you guys focused on NASCAR or the UFL over the weekend? There was definitely a lot to watch, but what truly were the people watching? That's what we want to know in the next segment. You guys will be able to call in 256-5764.
97.7
is the number to get into the programming. We got to hit a break. When we come back, you guys can hop on with us here on the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. If you've been injured and need a lawyer right now, do you know who you really get?
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. You want to talk to your lawyer. My clients talk to me.
And me. I'm attorney Justin Lackey. We're the ones that you talk to.
And we're the ones who handle your personal injury case.
And we'll take care of it.
The Lackey Law Firm. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hello, listeners. My name is Jonathan Dunwoody, and I own Minuteman Press. We are a full-service print shop that is locally owned and operated. I have personally been handling direct mail for over 17 years and have a great relationship with the USPS. We are the only print shop in the area that is listed as a print provider on their website and the only printing franchise that can use their logo as our partner on marketing materials. We can help from conception to design, print, and delivery to the post office. And with our easy, secure online payment option, you don't even need to leave your office. Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. We're talking about the chance for strong and severe thunderstorms this afternoon across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Looks like this activity is going to move in after the lunch hour, and it's going to stick with us across the Tennessee Valley until we head into the middle and later part of the evening. Gusty winds in excess of 60 or 70 miles per hour, and large hail looks like it's going to be the primary concern across the Tennessee Valley Tuesday afternoon. There is an isolated tornado threat as well. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN.
Sports Talk, 24/7, 365. Your full-time sports station.
You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Doesn't anyone do any work around this joint anymore?
This show is presented by the wonderful people over at Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com to fill out your free quote today. And remember that Fleming always shows up. With all the weather that's coming in, you definitely got to take a little peek at your shingles, make sure they're on there tight. And if you see any holes, any leaks coming through in the rest of today, definitely give Fleming a call when you get the chance, because remember, they show up. Bandy, I heard there was an Abraham on the hotline, and honestly, for the most part, I mean, it's my show. I could say, there's already enough Abrahams on this show. We don't need another one, but put him on. It's the one Mr. Tom Abraham, the big dog. What's up, Tom?
I'm listening to Joe Hunk.
Okay.
And he's talking about wrestling versus the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
And these two things couldn't be more diverse in as much as that one is actual sports and the other is a TV show.
One of them's real, Joe.
It's like saying, it's like saying that, I didn't watch the NCAA tournament because it was a real good episode of NCIS on TV. You know what I mean? I mean, this was a compelling. I had to watch Law and Order because it was more interesting. To be honest with you, Law and Order has been more interesting lately than the NCAA tournament. And it's to be honest, I'm a little disappointed. I mean, the boy was he was producing my show 20 years ago. He was in the producer Sweet 16. Maybe he's butthurt because I think I made him a 2 seed.
How could you?
In the producer Sweet 16. Yeah, he was not a 1 seed. I think he was a 2 seed.
Where was Bandy?
In that deal.
Oh no.
That's the question.
I think Bandy was in the NIT.
Oh, jeez.
How do you say that?
I don't think I was.
I listed 16 producers. I've completely forgot.
You didn't even make the Sweet 16, Bandy.
I don't think I was there long enough to qualify.
He went on the first round. I said I had 16 producers in 26 years, and apparently I had 17. I completely forgot about Bandy.
He was an intern.
Probably somebody else. I don't know. Maybe if you were an intern, it didn't count. I don't know. At the time, he was an intern.
I think I was an intern at that time.
Yeah, no.
You were an intern, yes. Cream is what we called him, John.
Trust me, I know.
I called him Bailey's Irish Cream, and then I just started calling him Cream.
Trust me, he's tried to weed that one out.
For Joe to comment on the entertainment value of Raw, and I'm sure that it's going to be great. WrestleMania is going to be great,
no doubt.
But it's not. It's a TV show.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? It's like saying I'm watching General Hospital because it's got more drama than the basketball tournament. The basketball tournament, you don't know what the drama is going to be. In the TV show, which will be the WrestleMania, you got an idea as what's going to happen. And if you think that The Rock is going to lose, it's going to be impossible. Isn't it I think it's a tag team thing or something. Maybe the other guy will lose, but Rock is not losing anything.
No.
In the WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still not 100% on the details of it all, but I just know like Cody Rhodes going into it is a big storyline. They're playing The Rock against The Rock and Roman Reigns. I just kind of know that much.
They've been setting up for this whole storyline for a while, and that's another thing where it's like you can kind of understand where the WWE is going to go, where a lot of these other. Because it sets up for this stuff. Whereas with college basketball, we don't know what's going to be set up. And I didn't know that NC State would be where they're at right now, but it's been a journey, and it's all been real life, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah. Well, it's sports. The ultimate reality TV is sports. Yeah. I mean, all these reality TV shows and everything, and you can watch Deal or No Deal and the Lost Island or whatever, or Survive Me or, whatever these shows are. The real reality TV is sports. Yeah. And I think that this tournament's been great, and it's been compelling. And he's just butthurt because Alabama is in the Final Four instead of his beloved Auburn, or is it his beloved Tennessee now, or whatever it is that he's beloving. When he was working in Montgomery, his proximity to Auburn made him an Auburn fan, and now he's in Nashville, so now he's a Tennessee fan because nobody's a Vanderbilt fan. And I get it, I understand it. But the reality is it's been a great tournament. It's been compelling. You got great teams, and you got Cinderellas.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got everything you could possibly want here in this Final Four. And then you got the Chicks Final Four, which we probably won't watch, but we'll listen to it. We'll have it on our air, you know, as well.
People are watching it, though. People are watching it way more than ever.
Oh, no,
Kind of the mentality looking into it, though, is like, all right, it's like these teams are playing. All right, they're playing for the chance to lose to South Carolina.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, exactly. And I wanted South Carolina and LSU because of the wrestling aspect, because they had a fight, you know, in the last game or in the tournament. So I wanted LSU and South Carolina in the final so that we could see a fight again and see how those two teams go. But I bet 9 million, maybe 10 million people watched that game last night. Ooh. And here's the thing that's unfair too. They're gonna talk about how many people will watch the women's final versus the men's final.
Yeah.
The women's final is on ABC because ESPN's not stupid. You know, the women's final is going to be on ABC, over-the-air broadcast TV. I know everybody's got cable, but it's still over-the-air broadcast TV. While the men's final is going to be on TBS. Instead of CBS, the men's national championship game will be on TBS. If the men's national championship game was on CBS instead of TBS, it would have millions more viewers, just like in college football. The very first year, the ratings were the highest ever, the very first year of the college football playoff, but it was all on ABC. Since then, they've moved it to ESPN. And on ESPN, it'll get 22, 23, 24 million, but it would get 28 million if it was over on ABC.
No.
So it's really not fair. I'm sure the women's game, you know, I think last year the Iowa LSU final got 9.5 million.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if last night's game didn't have that, but the shooting is phenomenal. That was the most women's game because my Yankees weren't playing until 9:45, so I watched a decent amount of that game. The shooting is tremendous. The outside shooting, they are using a smaller ball, you know, but it is the outside shooting. But it's slow. They play the game on the floor. They're never, you know what I mean? They're not. There's no jumping. They're on the floor most of the time. And whenever they attack the rim, they always look like they're kind of out of control, the women. You know what I mean? It's just not – you don't see that play in the paint. It always looks like it's going to be a turnover or something. It's like totally out of control in the paint. It's just, you know, it is what it is. It's women's basketball. And,
Well,
you know, so
you're going to have a whole show. You're going to have a whole show to talk about it. But I think it is a good little a little entry level of basketball, especially college basketball, for, you know, people who aren't, you know, used to watching basketball. The speed of it can kind of confuse them. I know I was watching with John, and he was thinking some things were something that they definitely weren't. But, of course, that slows down in the women's game, and you're not going to get those huge dunks, which, of course, everybody's looking for whenever it comes to the men's. But you got to make your way up.
A good high school boys team would beat the snot out of the women's national championship team, right?
Buckhorn.
I mean, they jump, they'll go over, around, you know.
Yeah.
But again, it's apples and oranges, and it's okay. Be best in class.
For sure.
It's all right to be the best women's game, and I'm glad people are watching it.
So am I.
And that's good.
Good stuff, Tom. Well, I'm looking forward to your show. Have a good one. We'll see you
Not
then.
going to be coming to you from Toyota Field. We just got word that Trash Panda Media Day has been postponed till tomorrow. So we will not be at Toyota Field today for the Tom Abraham show.
Yeah, make sure we get out early for that meeting. It's supposed to get bad. Either way, thank you, Tom. Good stuff.
I appreciate you.
All right, Bandy, we're going to hop into a break. When we come back,
Terrence,
we're
stay
getting
on the
to
line.
Terrence. We're getting to Terrence.
Yes, we will get to your phone call right after this break.
It wasn't our fault that we had another talk host call into the show. Of course he's going to talk. We're hopping into a break here on the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. We're talking about the chance for strong and severe thunderstorms this afternoon across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Looks like this activity is going to move in after the lunch hour, and it's going to stick with us across the Tennessee Valley until we head into the middle and later part of the evening. Gusty winds in excess of 60 or 70 miles per hour, and large hail looks like it's going to be the primary concern across the Tennessee Valley Tuesday afternoon. There is an isolated tornado threat as well. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7.
The music kind of goes against what the weather's going to do to us. Literally what just happened, the music took over after the weatherman said how terrible the weather's going to be. So definitely be safe on the roads today, especially later in the afternoon. But we got Terrence on the lines, and we're going to hop into him. Terrence, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Hope y'all doing well today.
Hey, thank you. You too, man.
I'm going to hurt some people's feelings. I'm going to make a couple quick statements, and I'm getting out of here.
Go for it.
First and foremost, NCAA tournament hands down over any WWEF, what you call it, name an alphabet. I don't care.
Yep.
Wrestling has been serious since Jake the Snake Roberts slapped Geraldo Ferrero on 2020.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, Alabama basketball, I'm happy for Alabama.
Okay.
But I am very disappointed in the refs. The refs for Alabama have been swallowing the whistle. I don't care how you slice it. In the North Carolina game, they missed 2 critical travel calls in the last 3 minutes of the game that could have altered the course of the game. Okay. That's the only I got to say for Alabama. They're overrated. They are the Cinderella team of the tournament, believe that or not. I do not believe they will beat either Purdue or UConn. But I'm hurting some Alabama fans' feelings, and I mean to. You guys have a great day.
Appreciate it, brother.
Hey, you too, Terrence. I will say to that, though, Purdue I have a little more faith into. Like, if they make it past UConn, like my guy, I'm all in. I'm a team to beat Purdue.
If they, if you're talking about Alabama getting past UConn,
yes. Purdue, they've actually met earlier on in the year, and they were able to. I mean, they only lost by single digits against that Zach Edey team.
Yeah.
And again, that's early on in the year when they were looking like a completely different team than they are now. I do have faith that they would come up with a game plan for for Edey himself. It is just that swallowing the whistle and just different reffing they're doing around this guy.
Yeah.
Because like the refs, I'm kind of confused how they're confused.
Yeah.
About how to ref this guy.
I understand where you're coming from. It's because, I mean, he's just such a tall human being. Like, of course, he's going to be physical.
And the foul difference between every team they play has just been staggering.
I want to know exactly what they're seeing that makes them think, like, hey, maybe we'll hold off on this whistle. And the same could be said for an Alabama team that plays physical basketball, all right?
Yeah, very true.
And I understand where Terrence is coming from because, yes, it's been physical basketball. It's also been a little bit mixed in. They run a very fast offense. There are going to be some missed traveling calls. It's just going to happen. I mean, these are human beings that are going to be calling these games. Same can be said for Zach Edey, throwing a few elbows. Maybe they're not going to see it. Maybe they're going to see it. One of these days, they'll see it. And I'm thinking that in the Final Four matchup, they're going to take an even closer look at him, especially against this NC State team. And they're going to think, how can we make sure this game is as fair as it possibly could be? Because now we don't just have, two really close teams going up against each other. We got an 11-seed NC State team. Possibly the Cinderella story. I personally think it's the Cinderella story.
I don't know.
And then an Alabama team.
It's tough. You got them because they've already made a Final Four. They've already got one. They made one in '83 with Valvano, which will, again, never be forgotten.
Yeah. Still haven't won it, though.
Incredible, by the way. Still one of the best 30 for 30s they ever made. But, I mean, now they're finally back, looking to win another one. First time Alabama's ever made it this far.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm looking at. First time ever made it this far, and they got to go up against what is like 99% considered the best team in the tournament right now.
Definitely considered the best team in the tournament.
And they're all honestly, NC State and UConn to me kind of mirror each other in a way.
Okay.
I don't know.
I wouldn't say mirror, but I understand.
They're very similar. I didn't mean mirror.
Yeah,
they're very similar because, I mean, again, both their guard play is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Both their guards are fast, can handle the ball very well, and are good offensive playmakers. That's what you want in your guards.
Mm-hmm.
The big men, that's where it gets. Because you got DJ Burns Jr. playing incredibly athletic for someone his size.
Yeah.
Like making these acrobatic shots, like off the back, one-handed.
He could do a backflip. I know he could.
Like floating in one hand over people taller than him from the paint. Like, it's very impressive work. And then in UConn, who you got over there, you got someone who's 7'2", and it's just your all-around like classic big man who's going to be getting you a ton of boards and is able to just be strong in the paint. Like, these are two honestly pretty similar teams that want to accomplish the same thing, but UConn has been just so efficient running their entire game plan scheme.
And if this UConn team is able to hit threes, that's when it's going to get wild. That's gonna be whenever it gets interesting to see who's going to win in that three-point battle. Personally, think Alabama's going to do it. UConn's going to love to charge into the paint, as they do, similar to NC State. Both teams only had 3 made three-pointers in that their Elite 8 matchup. So, interesting to see that. Is Alabama going to pull it away? Or is UConn going to take it like most of the country thinks? That's the thing we're going to be looking at. Tomorrow's going to be a fun day. Drew DeArmond, as well as a little bit of UFL. For me and Bandiman, we're out of here. Be safe out there.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with